Kendrick Lamar just lost the rap battle. He just lost it. A lot of you guys might not think so, but he definitely lost it. And I got a whole bunch of notes to run through to prove that he just lost his rap battle. And I know, I get it. Some of you Kendrick fans are extremely biased to the fact of where you can't think rationally. That's a problem. Because I'm a fan of both of these guys. I like both of these guys' music. They're both great artists. But Drake won this. He did. And I'm going to tell you why. But it's not about who won as much as in this video, I want to give you guys some vital lessons that we can take from this rap beef, some mistakes that were made that we can implement in our own lives to avoid. Because all in all, this video, this channel isn't about rap breakdowns or any of that. It's about self-improving. It's about key lessons in learning human nature and learning how the real world is and adapting it to our own lives, having more of a reality lens. So before we get too far into this video, I just want to remind you guys, because you might be mad. So let's get the groundwork now. Like, comment, subscribe. Share the video if you like the video. If you guys want to support the channel, all the ways you can support in the description below. So, Funk Flex, who's a credible hip-hop resource, who's seen Hit 'Em Up, who's seen Jay-Z and Nas Ether track, he's been around this whole beef this whole time. He said that Drake won. So that matters. That matters because the same thing that's happening with rap music right now, or this rap beef, is the same thing that's going on with sports right now. Too many casuals are entering the fray. Because in sports, they're getting sports betting more popular, getting more casual fans to watch. Difference between a casual fan and an actual fan is a casual will say that quarterback sucks. An actual fan will be like, you know what, our offensive line isn't very good. We didn't recruit very well. Our offensive coordinator is very terrible. That he'll give a vital breakdown of why the situation sucks. And it's the same thing with this rap battle. So what's one of the first mistakes that Kendrick made? He responded too fast, which you guys claim he's so intellectual. Well, he needs to get out of his feelings, because you need to think logically in this rap beef. You literally responded 30 minutes after Drake, which means, or could mean, that Family Matters was so triggering that you had to drop another diss track. What Kendrick should have done, and this is the gem that we can take for our own lives. When something happens to you, think about it. Don't react in that moment, because you might make a pivotal mistake. How many guys have went to prison? How many guys have said things at a job that they didn't mean because they were acting emotional? Now they messed the money up. Now they messed their freedom up. So Kendrick responded too fast, which could mean that diss track was so triggering that it forced him to drop another track. Instead of listening to Family Matters, going back to the drawing board, correcting the track where it needs to be corrected, addressing some of the things that Drake has been saying. Because I'm going to tell you why that Meeting the Grams track wasn't a win. So I understand why everybody's jumping on Kendrick's side in this rap battle. And this is the same thing what I told you guys last time about success. People are jumping on Kendrick's bandwagon is because he's an underdog, and people love a good underdog story. Kendrick isn't a GOAT. He doesn't drop enough music to be a GOAT. At the rate of music that he drops, every album should have went platinum in order for him to be in the GOAT conversation. So when it comes to Drake is in line when it talks about, streams, stats, money. He makes way more than Kendrick, which Kendrick hadn't pointed that out yet, which means it's a fact. So they're rooting for Kendrick because he's the underdog. Now, I'm not fooled by you Kendrick fans. Hey, you are fully entitled to like Kendrick Lamar. My thing is, think about the whole situation rationally. Because there's something that you can learn from this, which is why I'm making this video. So they're rooting for him because he's the underdog. Now, how does this apply to your life? People in the beginning stages will root for you while you're on the rise. But have you noticed, once you get to the top, the prayers stop, the support stops. People start twisting and coming up with these different accusations and calling you evil and bad. The jealousy and the envy shoots up because you've gotten to the top of the mountain. Why do people switch up like that when you're at the bottom on the rise? But once you get to the top, everybody switches up on you. It's because when you're at the bottom, you're actually at the bottom of them. When you're first starting off that business and you're broke, everybody's rooting for you because you're under them. And people really don't hate down. They just keep you down so you don't take their position. But if their position is not under threat, they're rooting for you because they know you're not on that level. And they honestly think you're not going to grind up out of that level. See, once you get to the top, you've surpassed them. And that's what triggers the hate and the jealousy. And that's what this rap battle is about. Hate and jealousy. Hate. Kendrick hadn't really said anything that's factual as far as statistical or something that we don't already know about Drake. He didn't attack Drake with numbers, with rap. Not really. He's attacking him with ad hominem attacks, which in a debate, when somebody does that means the debate is lost. Now, granted, this is a rap battle, so this is not a debate, so to say. So these personal attacks can be proper attacks. I'm not saying that these personal attacks aren't valid or anything like that. It is game. It's all game. There's no rules in war. So I'm not talking about that part. What's the next part? Now, before we get into what really lost Kendrick through the rap battle, let's get into this real fast because this is very noticeable or notable. The beat on Meeting the Grams versus Family Matters that switched up 3 times. That beat on Meeting the Grams was horrible. In a diss record, you need something up-tempo with an up-tempo tone. Now, I like the up-tempo tone, the masculine tone on Meeting the Grams, but put it over a better beat with some drums in it, like a war cry, because music, all that stuff is a war cry amongst men. The reason why rap music is so addictive to black men, or men in general, males in general, is because those drums have ancestral, or drums have always been a part of getting the emotionality up of men when it comes to war. So it's a primal trigger. Then you put it over lyrics that are talking about violence. Then you put it over that beats and the lyrics, and then you got the click clack and the shooting. All this stuff is primal triggers, which is why you don't hear this music, trap music, in clubs, because it invokes that war. Which is why when you go out to the club, they don't play rap or trap music like that, is because they know that's a war, tribalistic music that makes men subconsciously want to fight. So, and that's why with these clubs statistically get, violence happens. That's just a little side note. So the beat was bad, and the musicality matters, guys, because it's all about keeping the audience's attention. That's what music is about at its base level. You got to keep the people's attention. And the beat is a way of doing that. So, and plus, people are talking about, and people are in my comments saying that Kendrick's bars went over my head. I bet some of them did. Because diss tracks aren't supposed to be intellectual. Did you guys not hear The Weakest Link by Chris Brown? Diss tracks are direct, right in your face, like an aggressive masculine man. Not some of this double entendre nerdy stuff. Hit 'Em Up wasn't intellectual, and Tupac is definitely an intellectual man. Ether wasn't intellectual, and everybody knows that Ether was the best diss track of all time, or top 2. So cut the intellectual stuff on a diss track. The deep metaphorical. No. We need straight shots. Most people want to hear some, the casual fans don't want to think too much. So, and plus, let's just be real about it. Family matters when it comes to flow, the beat switches. Drake beat him when you compare Family Matters and Meeting the Grams. So you guys can get mad about it all you want. I'm not kissing Drake's ass. Let's just be real about it for a second. Now, here's the crux of this whole video. Here's where the rubber meets the road. And before we get too far into it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like the video, if you even made it this far. Salute to you. This is where Kendrick lost the rap battle. He took the moral high ground as this black messiah. So when he drops Meeting the Grams, he's talking about Drake's family dysfunction, right? Drake consistently has rapped about his own family dysfunction. Too Much was on Nothing Was the Same. Look What You've Done. I already said Too Much. He rapped about having abandonment issues on Churchill Downs with Jack Harlow. Successful. He talks about his mom about to leave, and he caught her in the driveway. You in the Six, where he talks about his mom should just forgive his dad. Like, he's already talked about his family dysfunction. How is that a valid diss? And also, you came up with a accusation, not receipts, talking about he's hiding another child, another daughter. The reason why Pusha T, that diss hit harder, is because he came with an actual name, with actual evidence. Drake couldn't hide it. You didn't give a name. You didn't give an Adidas campaign he's secretly running to promote his child. You didn't give any of that. You just launched the accusation out of nowhere, which is not rational. Now, if it would have been true, that diss track would have been up there, definitely, for sure. We could argue if it would have been better than Family Matters, if that's true. But that's the thing. It's all speculation. And according to how Drake is taking it on social media, I'm likely to think that it's not true. Which means somebody could have purposely gave Kendrick that bad information so he would make a track about it to make himself look like a damn fool. Every information, every source is incredible. So when people tell you stuff, you have to question it and check the resources and its credibility and its validity. And I don't know if Kendrick did that. He might have just been so thirsty for information, asking around for people, that somebody gave him the wrong information. Which is a vital lesson that we can take in our own lives when we're in a battle of some sort with another person. So here's a gem that you guys need to mark down. Never trust the person that takes the moral high ground. You know what? I'm the better person because I do good deeds all the time. I'm this perfect person. I never make mistakes, this and that. Never trust that person, because that's the most times, the most often, the most manipulative, dark psychology trait having person known to man. Human beings always make mistakes. And let's just say that Drake ain't shit and he is hiding a child. Well, Pusha T already exposed that. Let's say he was hiding Adonis. Pusha T already exposed that. And that means Drake ain't shit. Like, that didn't end his career. What Pusha T, the reason why Pusha T didn't hit that line like he was supposed to, is because there's one vital thing that Pusha T forgot to mention. Yes, it was a really good diss track, Story of Aiden, which, you know, it goes back to another thing. Pusha T came up with actual receipts of his son's name. Kendrick is just launching these accusations. But back to that point, the reason why the Pusha T stuff didn't hit as hard as it hit is because he's a peon talking to a king. Nobody cares what a peon says. Now, y'all can take offense to that, but it is what it is. Ask a casual fan, ask a regular, everyday rap fan if they know who Pusha T is. They're gonna be like, I don't know who that is. Which is why the diss track didn't hit as hard as it did. Now, if Kendrick Lamar would have said that back when Pusha T said it before, like if you would have took Pusha T and you switched him for Kendrick Lamar, that legit would have been a body blow, a haymaker to the face. But since he's not on that level, it didn't hit that hard, which is another gem. Stay in your lane. Don't punch above your weight class. Yeah, you might be a good private you might be a private that has a good point against your commander, but the commander is the commander. He gives the orders, you take the orders. So, and plus, Kendrick is taking the moral high ground when Drake just accused him of abusing his fiance. So, Kendrick, why would you take the moral high ground if both of y'all ain't shit when it comes to morality? You're no better than him when it comes to being, when it comes to being good or bad. You're just as bad. So that didn't work. And it's just the cognitive dissonance that Kendrick Lamar displays. Like, he talks about, I hate the women that you have sex with. How many tracks does it take before you're black enough? Kendrick Lamar, your whole wife is mixed and light skinned. What are you talking about? So if you're dissing Drake, who's a light skinned, doesn't that mean you're dissing your light skinned wife? And Drake addressed it. He's like, hey, what do you mean when you say I don't like, you don't like the women that I have sex with? You're this black messiah promoting black love, right? Well, Drake's like, I've dated SZA, I've dated Tims, who are beautiful, dark-skinned black women, which they are. And Kendrick Lamar's wife is beautiful too. She is amazing. But you claim all this light-skinned hate and that this black enough stuff when you have a light-skinned child, which probably isn't yours. Or one of the kids isn't yours. One of the kids is Dave Freeze, who's Top Dog manager, which is a company that Kendrick used to work for, which means Kendrick's girl was sleeping around behind his back, cheating on him, and had that man's child. And that actually might be true because she unfollowed Kendrick's Beyonce, who he proposed to in 2015. She unfollowed Kendrick, but she still follows Dave Freeze. So there might be some validity to that argument. Now, I'm not an idiot. If you made it this far into the video, if you're a Kendrick fan and you're one of the irrational ones, Kendrick can do no wrong. So you're just gonna go into the bottom of this video and type in your little comment section that I don't know what I'm talking about, but not give any valid reasons why. Because you think Kendrick is like this superhero that's gonna jump out of the sky and save you. So this is my last video breaking down this whole thing because the beef is over. Drake's not finna respond. Family Matters is better than all the tracks he just dropped. From every aspect of a diss track. The music, the rapping, the flow, the lyrics. So, yeah. We'll see where it goes from here. Because it looks like Kendrick's camp is falling apart and not Drake's camp. Because Kendrick's wife unfollowed him. And if a woman unfollows you in this day and age, on this social media influenced age where social proof matters, that matters. So let's see what happens in the next coming days of all this stuff. I'm officially not talking about this anymore. It is what it is. There's not really much other stuff to extract from this video. I know I said that before. It's funny how when you say you're not going to do something and then you do it. So like, I'm just going to stop saying that. I'm just going to stop saying it. And if there's some more content to make, it's more content to make. Now, granted, Drake winning this thing doesn't do anything for me either. I mean, it just is what it is. So, but I will tell you this. The next albums that Drake and Kendrick Lamar make, I'll expect both of them albums to be fire. I will give you that. There's a lot of high anticipation for these next two albums to be good. Because if Kendrick loses this rap battle like he did, and then he drops a fire album, he might make up for it a little bit. People might ignore this loss. But if he drops a shitty album, yeah, he might have bricked it. If Drake drops a classic, it's over. It don't matter if Kendrick drops a little. In order for Kendrick to catch up a little bit, it would have to be Kendrick Fire album, Drake Bricks. So that's the next part of this whole situation that looks as intriguing, the album part of it. Who makes the better album? So that's my video, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, like the video. I'm more than welcome to smoke in the comment section. Some comments, you better come with some facts, not some opinions. Or you could have a valid argument if you're making sense, right? So that's my video. If you guys want to support the channel on the way out, all the ways you can support in the description below. I'll see you guys next one, man. Peace.